Okay, hello and welcome back. Sorry, I didn't check the. I needed to check the earlier video to be sure that I had students in class. So I'm going to start again, and this video we are going to focus on creating our Revit site plan, putting it on sheets, and seeing how we can make it beautiful and presentable. I'm sure most of you have modeled your building to this point, and the first thing I want to do is after creating your site, this is my site already modeled and applied some kind of visibility graphics overrides to it. The first thing I want to do is to design your sheet in such a way that you might create a good site plan presentation. There are various things you want to look at. The first thing you want to do is to have a layout for a sheet. If we've done that, the next thing we'll look at is also to create a location map for where the project is sited. And thirdly would be to create our site plan in 3D, place it on sheet, different views. And then finally would be to create our site plan in 2D and also place it on sheet. So these are the things we'll be looking at today, and I'll do my best to see how we can get through all these things as quickly as we can. So let's begin with the first thing, is to design our sheet. Under Sheets All here in Revit, under your project browser, right-click and select New Sheet to create a new sheet. You might decide to load in sheets you've designed previously, or you can load in from your library where you look for other sheets that you had in your project. So for now, I'm just going to focus on these sheets I have here. I'm going to use the horizontally paneled sheet. Click on OK. Like I was saying initially, if you are going to make a presentation drawing, the sheet you are presenting should look like, have presentation feel. So we might edit this particular sheet to make it feel like a presentation design, to reduce all this stuff. So I can double click on the sheet if you're using like Revit 2024 to edit it, no matter which size. And maybe before editing, you might want to save as. So you go to File, you say Save as a Family. So you are creating your own new title panel. So I can save this sheet as a presentation sheet. So once that is done, find a good place to save it. For now, I'm just going to save this under my YouTube files. And I can go ahead to now edit it. This particular sheet has a lot of stuff that necessarily you don't need when creating a presentation plan. So all these general notes are not needed, disclaimers are not needed, revisions are not needed. So basically, of course, I might need the client name. Done by, checked by is not needed. We might appreciate the scale. So I'm just trying to reduce this to basic things that will be needed for, let's say, a presentation drawing. And so once that is done, you get your sheet smaller. So the sheet name might not be here, so I might take this sheet name out from here and delete this. So basically, we need the client name, the sheet numbers, the scale, the date. Okay, might be important. Scale should come with the drawings. We can put the scales under the drawings, so that is also, that can go. So we can leave the date, we can leave the sheet number, and you might search for inspirations to design this somewhere else, fine. The client name and location necessarily may not be on all the sheets in a presentation drawing. I don't think it's compulsory that the client name and location. Sorry, I took the 2 lines back. What's happening? Okay, there is a line here, but it's being dragged together with it. So let me see. Okay, fine. So This line here marks the edge of the paper, I guess. So I'm just going to separate it so I can drag these ones out. So you, in a presentation drawing, just focus on information that is most important. The sheet name is most important because you need to know which sheet you are working on. You can place this one somewhere at this corner. You might need the client name, not compulsory. You might need the project title. And so the project title might actually be something like 8-bedroom duplex, something of that sort. So depending. 8-bedroom duplex Enugu. So you can put that. The client name you can add from the project, and this is the sheet number. We may not necessarily need this. We may just have this one at the size, and basically date. So we also may not need this. Just need to add this. So something of this sort might solve your issue with the sheets. We don't need this particular line going around. These lines are the boundaries of the sheet. So if you don't necessarily need a border line, then fine, we may take it out. And I might, the lines that form the edge of the sheet, I don't think can be deleted. I think these lines are already hidden lines. So I might want to make sure that the edges of the sheets are also the exact sizes of the paper I want. There are other things you may do to make your sheet look much more better than just normal. Let me see if you can create some field region on the sheet. So field region is like you use it to create like maybe a base color on your sheet. So let me give an example. This is a field region. I can click this and say, let's say orange or gray, whichever one. I can come here, change it to solid fill. I change maybe this to orange, or let me go with gray and just check something out. So this is gray. One more thing I might want to do also is the lines here. I might set them to invisible lines so that this is just this, and I can rename this, edit this particular element to, let's say, be almost white, and increase the size for the sheet name. So this is where I can easily edit the title of my sheet for my presentation drawings. And I can do something of that sort here also. So it's left for you and the amount of creativity you want to exhibit with regards to the titles you want to make. So let me give you an example of what we might do here if we want to do the same stuff with our sheet. So we can go to create field region, use rectangular boxes. So we can create a box for the project title, have some space, create another box for the client, and have some space with the last one. I can use the align tool to align both the up and the down sides of these sections, and click finish. So this tool will have the same field region. I can select it, type CS. CS means is to create similar, and then I can also do such boxes down here for filling in the details of the other sections. So these are ways we might necessarily create wonderful designs, maybe without even leaving Revit. So I'm making sure the edges are, I'll delete all these other lines I have here. This line cannot be deleted. So I can delete all these other lines. This is already a field region I had prior to creating that tick line. So I can delete this. So what this does for me now is once I click this, have this as invisible lines, click finish, I can select this, change go to create a new field region. Let's say duplicate. I can make this, sorry I'm saying orange again, so but no problem, I'll use orange this time. And set this as, set the pattern to solid fill, and then change the color. I'm just repeating the process I did before to, let's say, orange. And what this does for you, is something of this nature, where you have your text in a box like this, and you don't need to leave Revit to have this kind of arrangement. So you can see my layout is looking, fine and beautiful. This client name here is white. I can change this white background you are seeing here. If I remove the opaque background here and make it transparent and click on apply, you won't see it any longer. So with this, it's kind of creating very beautiful sheets in Revit without necessarily having to leave Revit. I can make this align to the left and place it this way. So with this, I've created kind of a beautiful stuff, and this sheet will be replicated everywhere. It only makes sense I bring this one down, do the same thing here. I might just delete this box and edit this one, extend it, make sure the subcategory is on invisible lines. The invisible lines subcategory will enable your edges to be free. So if I do this, you can see, just drag this into this point. The same thing here, I'll double click to edit. We're editing the solid fill we used to create this. Make sure the subcategory of lines when you click is on invisible lines, and then sketch carefully. So, and like I said, we can easily edit the colors of this text by selecting under properties, click on edit type, and you can set the colors, change stuff there. You can duplicate this before you do that so that you don't change everything within that section. So let me say I need something like dark red. I hope it reflects there too. So, and I can make it bold. I can increase the size for the text to, let's say, 4, and then have something like this. Now this is too much, so but I'm sure you get the picture. So I'll reduce the size back to, let's say, 2. Okay, so with this, we've been able to create beautiful sheet types in Revit. These lines here I can delete. These faded lines are the edges of the printable sheets. I might have toyed with them in the past, but you can't delete them when editing a sheet. Finally, you might want to create your logo, you find somewhere to fix your own logo, and have it at that corner. So with this, you might have created a good presentation sheet. We might also have layouts. You might have some lines you might draw to help you in positioning stuff and things like that. Like I can't really work that out. Maybe you can use invisible lines on your sheet to divide it in terms of, let's say, enabling you to be consistently placing works at a particular point, something of that nature. I might have invisible lines at this edge, and I might copy it. If I hold Control, I can click and drag, and it will still be there to this edge. So what it means is these lines might be there, but they will guide me in order to place works here. I don't know, I'm just going to load this into this project. Okay, sorry, I'm on floor plan, so it's telling me it can't create the one in there, so I need to be on sheet. So I'll right click, select new sheet, and see this sheet I just created, so fine. Now you can see the hidden lines. They don't show, but you can use them as guides to know where to position things. So this is how to create good sheets. The next thing we want to do is to have an idea of where and where things will be positioned on the sheet. I said that in the earlier video. So once you have this kind of sheet, you want to know, okay, which area will I be positioning my text, and so on and so forth. So if I go back to this tab where I was editing it, and I might decide in my head to even use my hidden lines to ensure that maybe in all my sheets, I'll use copy, CO for copy, all my texts are located somewhere between these two rectangles, and all my drawings in all my sheets will be located maybe somewhere between these other two rectangles, something of that nature. So it depends on you how much you want to do that, and arrange your sheets properly. So this kind of lines, yes. So I'll go to create line, make sure it's invisible line. This kind of lines can help you order your sheet so that your sheet doesn't look tight, as a whole. Drawings don't keep flying up and down. You are not confused about stuff. So I have these drawings here, I have my tables here, sets here, and I have any other thing or information I want to put in the design somewhere there. So you can see a kind of consistency throughout if you use this to design your sheets. And because you're making presentation drawings, you need some level of consistency throughout the project. So it's going to ask me to override, and I will override the title panel. So even if you have an old sheet here and you designed a new one, you can select the old one, come here, look for the presentation sheet, select it, and it's going to form a new one. So the next thing is, if you are presenting your site, with this you can also do cover plan, cover page for your project, but since we are not focusing on that, the next thing I want to do after designing the sheet is how to cite your plan in a location. So this is our site already. There are many ways. Revit also has some location tools that you can use, but there is this software I did a video on initially called Card Mapper, where you can download block models, like you can see in this video. This is the software. The name of the website is cardmapper.com. So you can download any website file in AutoCAD and bring it into Revit, like with 3D blocks and everything. So I know most of you have watched that video. I don't know if you need me to go through that process quickly. If you do, you can just type in yes on the group chat, and I'll know that I can continue with that. So we can just exploit. But nevertheless, let's start. I will expect all of us to do this in this semester design, because it will help you do site location very, very easily. So let's give it a try and see what we can come up with. So you need to sign in first. If you click on sign in, you'll sign in. It doesn't ask me for anything because I've already signed up before. Here, the basic thing is to select what you're exporting as. So we're exporting as AutoCAD. If there are 3D buildings, you say yes, check 3D buildings. Most times in Enugu, like where I did the initial, this area like this, you may not necessarily get 3D buildings. So you have to set false height for your 3D data. Maybe anywhere between, most times I keep it for a minimum of 9 meters, because that gives you a fair height if you are doing duplex buildings. Also, check contours, topography and contours, if they are contours. So you can also set the levels of contours lines if you want, like every 10 meters. Export as mesh surfaces. These are the sizes of the major roads, highways, minor roads. So if you want to change it, why not? If you have highways maybe that are bigger than maybe 8 meters, like you want it highways 10 meters, then this one's, it's going to also adjust those sizes. So these are some of the settings that you should do while working on this. And then the next thing here is now to locate your site. This project I'm working on is in Enugu, but I can't really go to the site just for privacy reasons. So I might just look for any other site around there to copy it. So this thing is free, except you keep scrolling out and then you need to pay. But for architectural projects, you don't need that. So I'm just going to pick this. This might be, this is in Enugu, but I don't know the actual part. This is Enugu Onitsha Expressway. So possibly this might be leading to Transekulu, I'm just guessing. So I'm going to pick, let's say, between West Road 7, 6, and 5. I might delete one of the buildings there and call it my own building. So you can see this lane roads already, they have their names around it and all. So once this is done, once you are close to your project, and I always advise you to have at least one major road, one minor road around your site. You can now click create file. It's going to immediately create the file, and it's going to show you a sample of what it has created here. You can see estimated time is 30 seconds, but it's less than that. So you can see what it has created. These are the buildings around this section, and you can export this section into Revit. So you just click on download. It's going to download it, and then you'll be required to extract the file. So that's what I'm just going to do quickly. You can see my screen where I'm extracting the file, but yes, I'm extracting the file. So I've extracted the file, and then I'll go to site plan in Revit. I'll make sure my crop views are turned off, and there are many ways to import this file into Revit, but the best way is not to import it directly into the project. The best way would be to to import it as a family. But if, for example, you are in a haste, like I am now, I might just click and drag it directly into Revit. So there is a problem. See, the scale is too small, so don't do that. This is an error you should avoid. So zoom to fit. Go to insert and put import card, and then try and search it where you going to search for the file where it's supposed to be. So there's the file. I think that DXF file, fine. I select, it came in as DXF file, but nevertheless, it's still going to come in. Under import unit, set it to meters. All these are okay. Positioning origin to origin. You can have manual to center, something of that nature. Orient to view. This is okay. So you click OK. So you see, the major thing, the difference here is that we set this to meters, and this worked. Now, there is a reason this might be difficult for us to work out in our if you don't import it in a family view, because sometimes you might need to edit this. And these are an AutoCAD file. If you select it and you go to layers, for example, or just select delete layers, you see there are different layers that came in with the site: buildings, contours, and depth points, topography. There are some things here that are making issues. So let me select. Let me see viewport, let me see topography and definition point. I don't know if I need contour lines, but maybe I might need a topography. I don't know what this 0 is. Let me see. So still, I don't think anything deleted. Okay, something's deleted, but nothing much. Topography. Okay, topography is the other part of it. So editing the model if you import it directly into Revit, can be cumbersome. So I'm going to delete, and then I'm going to create a family for it, import it there, and then we can quickly sort it out. So we'll go to File. In fact, we can also, without going outside to create family, we can do this. This is also better. You can create model in place. This is what I did in my earlier tutorial. Select Caseworks, select OK. And then we can import the card into a model in place family, which is also possible. And with this, we can apply different materials and elements to it. So this is the file. I might want to position my building somewhere. I'm looking at where we have some space to position a building. So I want to position my building somewhere along this road. Let me just put it. There are some issues here I'm noticing with the contour and the way I exported it. Some of the contours are blocking the road, so I might want to take off that as a whole. So let me select this, go to delete layers. Wow, this is contours. We have so many layers here inside this particular one. So, but luckily for me, I knew what I'm looking for before now. So I might just be lucky enough to find them. Topography. Okay. Okay, so I might just work with this. This is better for me. You notice something that the roads are black, because in this project I've used it before to create something of this sort. So that's why these roads are black. So I don't know, it's the file started hanging all of a sudden. Okay, and this is an enemy of work in Revit. I want to say this: if your file just starts hanging from nowhere, know that your work is in a bad place. Either the files you are working with or some stuff, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing if your file is hanging in Revit. Like it's happening to me now. So you see, once I zoom in, the file starts hanging. Once this happens, I normally run away, because it means that no matter what is happening in that project, you won't enjoy working on it. So I'm going to cancel this family stuff I'm trying to do. And I don't know if this was unrealistic. Let me see, shaded. Okay, was that? No, that's not what was causing it. So, well, I don't know what was causing that hanging, but I would rather not deal with it than have it scatter up everything I'm trying to do. So, but what I'm going to skip that part of having to do that location. I've done it before. I might recommend you people to go and check out that other video so that it doesn't drag me back. The next thing is to have our site plan in 2D, and our 2D site plan, initially this is what I got from working over the graphic stuff and the rest of the things I've done in the past. And if you come to the 3D view, between this 3D view of this site plan and this other site plan I have, between the 3D view of the site plan and the other one I have, I can still recreate these ones on this site. But between these two, I feel like the one that looks much more beautiful between this and this is the outline of the 3D view. Now, you see this 3D view, you can duplicate this view and set it just to be a site plan view. And you can also use this view as your site plan view if you want to. So let me just give you an idea of how to do that. And sometimes you might, if you feel very comfortable presenting your 3D site plan view as your site plan in Revit, fine. If not, you can still, sort it out in 2D. But if you have a view like this you've set up properly, you can duplicate the view. You can duplicate as with detailing or just duplicate. So for me now, I just want to duplicate. It's going to come out here. You can rename it if you want to use this particular view as your site plan view. When you're renaming your 3D view, you must remove the brackets around the view, the 3D, because that bracket is used to just show you the main ones. So I can use this 3D and type site plan. Now, to make sure you don't lose this view and this scale, under here there is a tab, a key called unlock or lock 3D view. If you lock the 3D view, you won't be able to move. Sorry, is it locked already? No, it's not locked. So if I lock a 3D view, save and lock orientation, I won't be able to move the 3D out of that particular view. I can only work on it on that view. And so if I go to the sheet I want to work on, I can bring in my 3D site plan in that sheet, and I can rescale it to whatever scale I feel comfortable working on. This is scale 1:175. It comes with a title, and I might also show you how to rework all this, make it look beautiful. And there is a space here for you to show title, yes, okay. And normally it comes with the scale also. I don't know whether that is unchecked, possibly. So this this is basically how we might go around sorting out our site plans and trying to see if we can create beautiful site plans. The next thing we can do is, you can see my guidelines there. My guidelines, my project is somehow within my guideline. This is at the beginning, sorry. So I can use my guidelines to select the sheet, make sure it's well placed. This is slightly above it. I might decide to bring down the scale, play around it. I might centralize it here. And the next thing might be to put my site individual details there. You can be able to create this using the method I taught you and then fill in the details manually. But there are also ways to fill in the details properly without necessarily without necessarily manually typing it if your model is done right. So this is my first live tutorial. I'm checking it out, and this is better because sometimes I might be trying to record YouTube videos. I won't do it for weeks. Other times I might have lectures with you, and then there is no way to access those lectures again. So I'm going to pause here, allow you guys to try and see if you can try out something with your site plans. I might also add to the videos in terms of with regards to maybe positioning 3D views on sheet. This is the same thing I did the last time anyway with regards to the 3D views. What I'm using here is, there are two views setting I'm using. I'm using fine here. I'm using shaded view here. So let's try a 3D view. This is the original 3D view. I have other 3D views here. This is hanging. I need to find out why it's hanging. One of the reasons I might say this is hanging is fine. The use of this kind of trees, these 3D trees are used in my modeling, can be troublesome because they are heavy. So you might decide, be careful, like I said, if you're working in Revit and your file starts doing this, it's difficult to work with. So I'm going to delete these trees and see if I can change it. So we can go to the site plan view and then try that. Okay. Select, delete. And turning on shadows too can also cause something like this to happen. So let me turn off my shadows from this particular view. Select, delete. Now I'm deleting these trees. These trees have shadows and they are giving my site plan a good vibe. So these other ones I might leave. But there is this particular set of trees that, okay, look at this particular one. I downloaded this tree from Revit City. You can see Jonathan Furlong's advanced stuff. It's also on plan, it looks nice. and it's very light. It's just like 2D CAD trees, and let's look at it at on our 3D site plan. On our 3D site plan, it has shadows, but you can't see the whole stuff here on 3D site plan. So it's not looking better than our other ones, not terribly, but on the views, on the 3D views, it's it's still not looking as fine as it will be, but it's is a better option. It's somehow light for people that may not want issues. And you can, I think you can reduce the height, let me say 1.5. Let me see what happens. If you can scale it down. You really can scale it down. So, but for this particular 3D trees, sorry. Okay. I like it on 3D views. You can see how it feels on 3D views. Like on 3D view, it's very light and it gives you that feel. But maybe on 2D views, like we've seen, on actual site plan views, it comes out well too. It's just that the 3D view we're using here, it didn't come out well in that one. So, but it's nice. You can rescale it. I'm guessing we might be able to rescale it if we click on the edit, something of that nature. But I like it in 3D views. I've seen it in projects and it looks good in 3D views. So the same thing we may want to do with the project. You try and lock a view if you want to use a 3D view for anything. You try and lock it. The reason you lock the view is because it's better that way. You don't need to remember how to fix the view up or stuff like that. So if I lock this view, I can create a new sheet, or I can place another stuff here. But I already know that the way I'm positioning my work, if I have something here, I can only have write-ups beside it. So due to that reason, I'll go to another sheet and then bring in my 3D context site. See, the scale is very small. Maybe I'll have to increase it to, let's say, 200. And then maybe 175 to, let me see whether it fits in properly. So this is where I change my view scale. Under graphics, you put custom and you can select it and type any contextual scale you want. So this looks good, and if I select my view, I can make sure this sheet is within those, box area where I want my stuff to be located at. So with this now, I can go ahead to put more things here. If I had the location site plan, if I had other smaller 3D views I wanted to put here, I can also annotate on 3D to the sheets. So that's also good. If I go to annotate view, you still have your text. You can still attach a ledger to the text or a 2-segment stuff, and you can annotate and maybe move it to that area and then type. So let me say this is a stone-coated roofing sheets. So, and then click OK. This size is really tiny. You might want to change it to a size that is good for you. And then you can use this and annotate several other things. And you can maintain some kind of consistency all the way, and then give it nice stuff and the rest. So with this, we'll be creating very beautiful site presentations. I might still buttress on this video properly, but I think we get the point. For this week, I'll be expecting us to see how we can improve our site presentation in Revit, the quality of our sheets, and there are many other creative things we can do. I did not go through, but I'm sure at least we get the point of having to be able to create good, beautiful site presentation plans on our Revit. So thanks for your time. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm hopeful that in further live streams, I'll be much more prepared. But it's good we start, we don't waste time. For your assignment this week, I would like you to okay, the designs we did last week, or that was submitted on Monday, I'm sure most of you don't have that block of flat again, so no problem. But you can continue with this file. Try and see if you can replicate what I've done so far. And I'll try and see if I can arrange my thoughts properly also in another video to before the next class. But if I don't, I will send you samples of what I'm thinking we can create with this lecture. So thanks for your time, and thanks for listening. Any question? 1 minute. I hope I wasn't too fast, was I? Sorry, I'm not on YouTube. I might be able to see 1 or 2 chats, but I'm streaming from another software. So, but okay, I can see the chats now. Okay. Oh, we have a lot of people here. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay. All right. So let me type. Any questions? Okay. Okay. Okay, I can chat too. That's good. So we can be communicating from the chat box here. I'm just learning this stuff out, so that's fine. Next time I will make sure the chat box is up while the class is going through. I wouldn't have deleted the first video. So I hope this works. I hope the class works this way. And the fact that it's recorded will also enable you guys to access the class anytime. So from this semester, we can be looking at doing more of YouTube lives and arranging the videos too for references in the future. So, all right. So thank you. Have a nice day. It's 10 o'clock. I'll allow you to go for your next lecture, and I'll see what I can do. So don't forget the assignments. Try and see if you can recreate this stuff in the same quality. I'm going to try as much as I can to also add more videos to explain this particular one. All right. Please, this person that is Jet Li in this class, how will I know your actual name? Now that I want to make sure I'm screenshotting the attendance. I don't know your actual name, or please, Jet Li. I just screenshot the attendance sheet from the chat box. Please, if you know you are here and you didn't say anything, you can say hi on the chat box so that I can just screenshot the attendance on the chat box. Just in a second. I'll give you a second to do that. If you have said hi before, no need to say it again. I've already gotten your name. Okay, I've gotten that. Okay. Okay. The last person here is Ekenegwe. Am I correct? I think so. So I think we'll stop with Ekenegwe. Okay, so. Okay. Yes, somebody asked a question. Please, what of those that have not submitted their first semester design? Can we submit? No, you can't submit your first semester design, but you can submit your. Yes, you can submit it if you're asking it about descriptive geometry. Yes, you can submit it. If it's about descriptive geometry, yes. Yes. All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much. Have a nice day. We'll see.